knows that one?
Oh my.
Quite literally sounded like someone tripped over. It sounded like someone tripped over their microphone. I don't like these sounds.
Make it make sense. You can't.
I can't.
Don't try.
I wasn't going to.
Hiya.
Please no. We're gonna have to listen to those sounds on Thursday anyway, Josh.
Fuck everyone, mate. Hopefully this time we can actually get to the fucking jerky place. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go to the jerk chicken place.
Jerk chicken place?
Jerk chicken
Jerk
place.
chicken.
Which is that?
It's the monkey place. It's just near the funny cave of bats.
It's where old Batcave used to be. Next to that back alley, there's a monkey place with jerk chicken.
Yeah, no, I think I know which one you mean. Just like, like kind of next to the pound shop thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We keep trying to go, but every time that we could have gone, we didn't. And then as soon as we wanted to go, it just won't open again.
Me and Dion have been there once. It's quite nice.
Well, now we have to go.
Anywho, greetings everyone, welcome back to the Dark Tides of Runeterra. So, last time, or rather a couple of sessions back, because how many sessions have you missed, Ranna?
Just last time, I think?
Okay, then that's easy enough. So last time you all managed to get yourself to... I've got the map quite literally here to help myself go along with this. The relic goals, where Kuiper, Mariah, and Silveen basically read the way through almost a library's worth of book and artifacts, while potentially trying to gather information / take objects.
Possibly fucking Waffleberg.
Oh yeah. Alekxander Waffleberg.
Please, if anybody's gonna bully anybody, it's gonna be Waffleberg bullying Alexander by the end of this campaign, and we all know that to be true.
Alekxander and Waffleberg, meanwhile, went up a different pathway, with Alekxander trying to bully some gremlins. Only to encounter a few traps along the way, which they managed to sort out. They figured that, well, they learned that they had to build a bell out of 3 pieces, which would then upgrade the key to the next level.
It's a quest for the bell island.
Yep. They managed to get one at the end of all the traps, after dealing with goblin the gremlin hiding, as well as an assortment of ruined eggplant creatures, who were pretty much keeping tabs. They came back to find the second bell piece was in a puzzle box, which Alekxander breezed through the first 2 parts, and Waffleberg tried to destroy the box after the 3rd question. Given the
To put this into perspective, would Potoo been standing in the room?
I'm going to say that Potoo and Alari would have been off exploring somewhere here, just like keeping tabs.
So then never mind, scrap that, continue.
Essentially put, the first question was just like an acronym thing. The second one was supposed to be the reverse of a riddle, but I forgot to quite literally keep count of numbers, so it just became the riddle itself. You know, the one where it's like, you're walking to somewhere, so many people are walking the other way. Which person was walking to the place?
Tried to take the riddle and make it into a maths question, then forgot that in order to do the maths question, you have to do the maths.
Pretty much.
It's confusing.
So that got sorted out. Then the third question
Tried to pull a Trixie on us, and then pulled a Trixie on herself, is what we're saying.
Yep. I played myself. And then the third question quite literally became, what was Waffleberg's real name? And upon realizing that was the question, Waffleberg tried to shoot the box to destroy it.
I've honestly forgotten, so I'm going to call him Jeff.
Which is what made Silveen curious and made Silveen bully Waffleberg. So Waffleberg did bring it on himself.
Yep.
You know, out of any game of D&D I've ever played, this is the one where I look at the game and go, how has the party not killed each other yet?
Mariah is the moral compass of the party, and that itself is a dangerous aspect.
Hello, sorry about that.
It's not that she's the moral compass, it's that unlike everyone else, she's completely indifferent to meeting a requirement to shoot something. She knows it's coming, why start now?
So that was the second piece. The third piece was located a bit to the left, where another Shadow Gremlin had a piece already, but she required a trade. A certain orb that was being hidden in an elderly mimic, which Alekxander managed to get with not that much hassle, actually, just a lot of drool. But upon the trade, the party realized that the gremlin had a small pink flower on their head. As she ran away, and her form changed to Nico.
As this campaign is over, I 100% intend to force Lee to play a campaign full of goddamn characters with references she'll never understand, only so she can know the suffering.
I'm gonna
Of going,
be honest.
it's got a pink flower on its head, it must be insert name here. Sorry, insert name here.
I'm gonna be honest for a couple of things. One, you'd already met her a couple of times, and two, you've tried to do that before. You tried to get me into a Dark Souls campaign. That was like,
God. Yeah, but even Penfold joined that one. Penfold.
The reason
Let man sit on for a bit.
The reason I didn't join that one is I was in too many. So, with all three parts connected, you managed to charge up the key. You then freed Mariah's soul finally, after Mariah kind of fell through 2 floors.
You saved Mariah's soul, then you saved Mariah.
Pretty much.
You might call it incredibly clumsy. I call it efficient. We are not the same.
I call it we discovered that floating disc apparently has a breaking limit.
Oh my.
But after Mariah was saved and the party were ready to head up to the next floor, they realized someone was missing. They tried to contact Silveen via Sending Stone. Because Silveen wasn't there and Waffleberg wasn't being too forthcoming with where Silveen went.
Yeah, we definitely thought that Waffleberg had definitely iced Silveen somehow.
Kuiper still low-key thinks that Waffleberg just killed off Silveen right there and then.
Completely honest, Alekxander could totally believe that Waffleberg killed Silveen and just doesn't care enough to find out. We all know that that Alekxander and Silveen have had at least one moment. Alekxander likes his brain. Please give it back.
So, for you, Potoo,
Mm.
I'm going to say that for the majority of that, you were spending your time between making sure you weren't being followed, and also maybe every now and again dipping into the study, where it would have been like a mixture of a large library and a studying hall where various tables were laid out with artifacts on top.
Shiny Gugas and ogling items.
You can roll me an investigation check if you wish.
Sure. That is a 17.
So, the first thing you would have noticed is they seem to be separated to either side of the room. One side, the iconography seems a bit familiar to what you've been seeing around, but a little bit more upkept than what you're used to seeing, so you'd assume these to be like Blessed Owl relics. The other side seems to be from all around the world. Like you see Argol, you see some Shuriman, you see some Freljordians. Well, Freljordian artifacts, not Freljordians. I don't know when they would have gotten there.
He just has Freljordians frozen in his study, that's all.
And here's our ultimate Freljordian artifact. It's just got engraved on it Alexander's wife.
Alexander has learned the teleport spell.
Alexander enabled.
Why do I see SV cheats 1 at the top right?
You have teleported to the serious room. This is
Alexander becomes monkey.
no.
Oh god, thank you for reminding me of that. I need to check out the new Stanley Parable.
It's good. It's good, boy.
We should get to that at some point, Rebecca, because I know you enjoyed watching me play the first one.
Stanley Parable
Yep.
D&D campaign 1.
Jack the Dog Parable.
Just each session, it starts off the same as everything else.
Oh, you can't just call it the track story.
So,
Oh, thanks for putting that in my head forever.
among these relics, you would also spot some Ionian artifacts,
Sorry. Stop.
including what seems to be a small bonsai tree, like a little cherry blossom.
Okay.
Of course,
I'm gonna
Alexander
chaotic
would
today.
want to kick the plant.
What's going on right now? Are we all together?
I'm saying like this is with Potoo is what would have been happening with him while you all were doing the thing last week,
Okay.
since
Right,
they
I
weren't
see.
here last week.
Hmm.
So, Kuiper, while you were reading through the book and tried to help out with the puzzle box, you probably would have just been seeing Potoo just investigating the tables.
I see.
Casually investigating the bonsai tree unless there's something else that's interesting.
And as you get closer towards it, a faint melody is playing in the air,
So
seemingly
it's a
getting
fucker, it's
louder
another puzzle box.
as you're getting closer.
Giant enemy spider.
You may roll me a history check.
Sure thing. 21.
Okay. Just something seems hauntingly familiar about this tune. You don't remember too much about your time spent in Ionia as a child, but it does seem awfully nostalgic. Kind of like something you'd hear at an old festival that you'd go to.
She was going to carefully nudge the box with something.
Okay, you reach forward to nudge it. What are you
Not
nudging it
with
with?
my bare hands.
With your bare hands. Okay.
Probably one of my thieves' tool pieces.
Okay.
Like
Just
a
kind of
sturdy piece.
just kind of reach forward with. I'm going to say it's one of the tools that you'd normally use as part of the lock picking thing, where you just press it upwards to keep the things pushed in. So like to keep the pins pushed in, you just gotta reach forward with that and just tap it. And for a brief moment, the music does resonate through the room, just like a couple of notes. Kuiper and anyone else who would have been in the room at the time, so that would be, I believe, all of you at that moment in time would have heard that.
Well, it included me?
Yes, because this would have been roughly around the time when you were solving the puzzle box.
Alright, yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's going to assault me if I touch it.
Alexander was probably too busy solving the puzzle box.
It's just they're hearing the riddle. Just a couple of notes play out, and then just through the room, Potoo, you just hear one. But yes, it seems like the puzzle box didn't react to the touch of the object. Well, aside from the music getting louder for a couple of notes.
Fine. Potoo will pick it up carefully.
You will pick it up carefully. Okay. As you reach down to pick it up, make me a wisdom save.
Okay. Wisdom is one of my good-ish stats.
Also, I should have rolled a
That is a 16.
16. Okay.
Yes.
I just had to roll for someone as well. So as you reach down and you rest a finger on it, before you can fully pick it up, you feel like a hand just kind of slap your hand away. And you look down to the little shadow gremlin. I wouldn't do that.
Oh.
It's at this point that Waffleberg starts screaming and pointing
Yep.
guns at people.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty sure he points a gun at me, and my response was something that was the Alekxander version of "Yo, what the fuck, bro?" We all know not to bring up guns while Alekxander's here. He gets, he has to compensate.
And as your eyes just carefully glance back down to it, after just having glanced over to Alekxander and Waffleberg's, I will say a scuffle, but holding up at gunpoint.
Potoo's used to it at this point.
I'd assume so, actually.
It's just like, this shit.
Two figures are now sat underneath the cherry blossom. What seems to be a young girl with long purple hair and a large white wisp of a creature floating around her. The gremlin just... I should probably go help her deal with that. Just don't touch it.
What's it going to do?
He is going to roll to see if he knows what it will do. That's
Yeah,
20. No excuse for him to not tell you.
which is why it's surprising he's not going to
Hello,
tell you.
welcome to the voice chat.
What do we get?
Waffleberg has returned.
Waffleberg has returned just to see himself still holding up Alekxander at this one little point.
What is Waffleberg doing?
Essentially, given that Ranna wasn't here last week, I'm just doing a little bit with her that would have been happening at the same time as the puzzle box situation. So we just quite literally had the moment where Waffleberg was holding Alekxander up at gunpoint to try and shoot the box.
Oh. Well, I'm here but not here. I did say that I'd stop by to say hi. This is me stopping by to say hi, but I've got to vanish now. Bye.
Good luck.
Bye.
Just like that, he is gone.
It's essentially a small portal made physical.
It's a portal.
To the spirit realm.
Huh.
Or, well, to be more accurate, to Ionia spirit realm.
Fascinating.
So I don't know if there'd be any way back if you did go. I presume there probably would be. I mean, it's not unheard of, but it would be quite the inconvenience for you.
Oh, thanks for the warning, I suppose.
As you turn to join the others after Alekxander has stormed out of the room, followed shortly by Kuiper and I believe you had Mariah on your shoulders at the time.
Yep.
One last figure catches your eye as they appear next to the Wisp and the young lady. A female Aarakocra now joins them.
Aarakocra.
You gotta make me stop.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Ugh.
So what is your reaction to that, Potoo?
Well, obviously, Potoo's going to stop. He's not going to touch it because he was told what it is, but he is going to observe it.
Yep. You see the Aarakocra take a seat next to these two. And looks like stories are being swapped and tales are being conversed. They do not seem to notice you. In fact, much like the tree itself, the figures look to be made of porcelain. But occasionally, it's one of those cases where you look, they seem to be frozen in time. Your eyes glance away for a brief moment and look back, and it's almost as if you've missed them moving. As you finally make different
Freaking
pauses.
Potoo starts side-eyeing it, but he's not looking directly at it. That would be funny if it worked, but it probably doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, I suppose if you're once you're done with your whole mission here, I suppose you can always come back and learn more about it. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I don't think it could go anywhere.
It just suddenly grows legs and starts spider walking up the wall.
Unboxes your portal. That.
What's this? It leads to the spirit realm in Ionia. Okay, Waffleberg, where's your bag of holding? We put the pocket dimension in the pocket dimension.
Oh, if it's a portal, does that make it a pocket dimension?
It's
Kind of. Magically, a portal is a hole to another dimension. So if you put a portal into a bag of holding, I expect it to act the exact same way by withdrawing in the entirety of every dimension
Fair point.
involved. So our dimension and the poor people on the other side. Ranna just killed everybody. All right, draw up new characters.
you just do that, the last thing you see is vampiric clowns.
Oh
God.
It didn't destroy them. It just melded the universes together. So now everybody else is a vampire clown.
Suddenly, Cody.
So, are you catching up to the others?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not much I can do if I can't hear or interact with whatever's going on.
You take one last quick look at it before you go to catch up the others. So the figures seem to be walking away with each other now. And through the magic of catching back up to where we last left off.
Wait, we have to do the fast forward sounds. And now.
Now, Silveen,
Mm.
you were heading down to the Stone Lake Repository, if I recall correctly.
What?
All the way down here. Towards where the last signs of your family were.
Yes. And then I received a message
Oh no. Oh yes, from
from
the
the
bartender.
others.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she where she stood, because I'm well, here, let me look something up. Because I forgot. I looked this up earlier. Okay. So they mentioned Thresh in the message.
Indeed.
She is going to halt where she stands and mutter to herself, Grail. And she is going to grow a little bit older and change her appearance, taking off the lab coat that she had collected and tearing it to shreds. And her ghostly appearance is going to inhibit all clothing being made of her. So she is now wearing like a deep red like coat with like what she has for her objects kind of just like almost shackled to her by ghostly chains, and they just like float beside her. And she's going to turn around and start heading towards the party with a little bit of haste.
Okay.
Yeah, as she prepares to kill the man that started it all.
Are you letting them know that you're on the way?
No, she's not thinking about that right now. She's thinking about the man who started it all and dismembering his head, even though it be ghostly, from his body. Maybe even trapping him in his own lantern.
So, you get no message back, Alekxander.
Alekxander doesn't really try hard on that.
Fair.
As has been discussed, Alekxander is probably safely under the assumption that Waffleberg has absolutely murked the shit out of
Oh, William.
So it's a case of you message
She's probably
Silveen to
dead
see.
now.
You get no message back. You just start side-eyeing Waffleberg like,
Yeah.
Perhaps you did what I did not.
Waffleberg would have the worst and yet best poker face, because how would you be able to tell emotion from a face that is presumably always changing emotions?
How do you tell an emotion from a crazy person? Well, you don't. You just kind of accept life as it is and we move on.
So, you make your way upstairs.
I think the
Towards
real question here is how did he kill a ghost girl so efficiently?
towards what is known as the Library of Agony. You could tell he probably named it himself just from the name.
Edgelord.
I mean, yeah, that's got Raka written all over it. I mean, what? Who are we talking about?
Edgelord, me? Never. Who would do that?
You didn't name the library.
It's just like what nobody really knows. It's like behind me, there's just a dark, gloomy cloud.
We find out what happened to Silveen. We just get there and she's there boarding up the new name sign for her.
Yeah, it's just she's boarding up Thresh's name with her own. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
I found the
He's
ultimate.
gone now.
I found the ultimate revenge. I evicted him.
Straight into his lantern, holds up the lantern.
So, as you make your way up the stairs, the corridor
Uptown.
winds to the right and then to the left.
We're back now, y'all. One hop this time.
Two
Seems
hot
to be
steps and bing.
a circular
Stuff,
room.
stuff.
The
I
circular.
hate circular rooms.
There's no corner to hide in.
There's no corners to hide in. There's no corners anywhere.
There's no corners to suplex it.
And beyond that, you see what just seems to be a passageway going forward. A couple of turn-offs to the left and to the right.
Please tell me that there's a doorway before his real room.
Place Tom as a fog door before his.
And what seems to be another circular room just beyond that, but anything beyond that circular room is hard to tell from this distance. In this first circular room, yeah, again, it just seems to be the usual decor you've come used to by now. Shelves of books, a few tables strewn here and there. These ones, however, seem a bit less focused on just housing relics. Mainly as the dried bloodstains do give it away somewhat. What is it that you're
Fair.
all doing?
Making my
We're
way down.
getting close.
Alexander is, of course, performing the Holy Crusade of going towards the room. It looks like there might be a boss in it.
Okay.
Do we need a boss key?
Yes, is this a 5-bell door? No. I already said that 4 bells was the
Motherfucker!
I already said 4 bells was the maximum.
Just duplicate
Unless-
the bells, put them in the doors.
Just
It's just a glass door with 5 bells on it, and Thresh is just Fortnite dancing behind it.
You
No,
just
it-
get to the the
Waffle.
door and you just get a message that says, "You have now beaten the dungeon on
Actually,
easy
no.
difficulty. You must now defeat on normal to unlock the true ending."
Thresh isn't doing the Fortnite dance. Thresh is doing his Dark Star dance behind the door.
No. It's quite literally.
Because his Dark Star dance is when he takes the lantern and swings it up above his head and throws his hips back and forth like a fucking stripper.
You
Oh,
just,
Of course he does.
you just
He's
get,
like, you guys can't get me.
you just get to the other room. A
you
message
sure you
comes,
don't just have Fortnite emotes in this game, man?
a message comes up like when you beat Ghost and Goblins for the first time. He's just there going, "Congrats! Now
That's the
start again."
reference.
And we go back to session 1.
Yeah.
Session 1 hard mode.
And then we break the timeline
Congrats!
and make Jack cry.
You've got to pick up a certain item.
No.
Start again. But yes, you go forward. To the left and to the right, as you pass them, there just seems to be other corridors going off to smaller rooms. You don't hear anything from them. But I do want you to make me perceptions because of something potential.
right. 22.
Okay, 22, another 22.
That
Kuiper
one.
gets a nat 1. Liar, however, gets an 18.
Go down to bottom.
Excuse you.
Sorry, should have muted for that.
21. All of you hear what seems to be a bit of commotion coming up ahead. Alekxander,
Prepares himself for a fight, obviously. Go on.
you can make it out a bit clearer. It's the clanging of metal on metal.
There appears to be a fight ahead of us already. Are you expecting that? Because I wasn't.
Interesting.
Is it a very methodical clanging, or is it more of a...
Yeah, it's kind of like a clang, little bit of an intermission. Clang. Kind of like that. Like every now and again, there's just like a pause and then another clang.
metalwork?
And as you
Or
get
something heavy walking.
towards the second circular room, it's prior to that nat 20, Alekxander, a warmth starts to come over you.
A what?
Warmth.
Warmth, right.
Yep.
If I said a warg then, I was getting very concerned about the implication of a warg coming on me.
Oh, Jack.
I know. Mine in gutter. It's where it lives.
Essentially put, as you make it to the other circular room, there seems to be a staircase going directly ahead to what seems to be a large set of doors at the top. There is a corridor going to the right as well. And it's towards that direction where you hear the clanging noises, where you feel the warmth coming from.
So, straight ahead or to the right is what you're saying.
Yes.
So there's a closed door straight ahead of us. Is that what you said?
Closed door at the top of the stairs,
Yeah.
and a corridor going to the right, where you're hearing the clanging and feeling the warmth.
I'll peek round the right side, I guess. I'm not going to go down immediately.
Okay, you peek around the right, just seems to be a long corridor towards a large set of almost bronze-like doors.
Alexander thinks if I am a man who possesses my own, well, this entire dungeon, what do you call it? Alexander would definitely put himself behind those doors. What do you say?
Kuiper just nods.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's go that way. I don't think anyone has any strong opinions against Alexander's incredibly undefeatable routine.
And as you head up the right corridor towards these large closed bronze doors, you can almost feel them like reverberating. I believe that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With each clanging sound.
Right, we're going in.
Okay,
Yep.
make
I
me
think everyone's just expecting a continuation there. Anyway, go on.
whoever is going to try, make me a
Me.
strength check.
Yep.
Which I'm ironically not particularly great at. That's persistent.
Take 1 sec. Take guidance.
So what are we trying?
Make that a 14.
Nice.
You're still struggling, unfortunately. These are quite large, heavy doors.
Someone else should, like, provide the help action or something else. Fine.
I got a 19.
So, as you're struggling there, Alekxander, to try and get it, you see Potoo just walk up and just kind of push it along with you.
Turns out
And
it's a patience.
you both. I was tempted to do that, I'm not going to lie. But then I realised the amount of times that's been thrown at people, I feel like it's diminishing returns at that point.
Yeah.
But you do manage
Yeah, go
to
on.
get the door open. And in front of you is perhaps the largest room yet you've seen in this entire place. What seems to be a large forge in the middle of it.
Alright.
With various books open on plinths around it. What seems to be a being at least 3 times your own height. Just in the middle with a large warhammer looking forging hammer. Just occasionally bringing it down on top of this large, almost glowing red anvil. As he seems to be just at work at his latest project.
Oh, he seems to be having fun.
Fresh, is that what we're looking for?
I don't think so.
Is there any other exits to this room, or is this room just sort of a
It's just
bit
a
of a
large.
dead end?
Yeah, it's just a dead end.
How far away is that library from where they are?
I'd say that if you, given the time that would have passed between then. You probably wouldn't have even made it too far out of the building before you got the call to get back.
Well, I know, but like she doesn't know where to go, so she'd be like going back to the library to. Sadly,
it would have been just further. It just would have been further up the stairs and then quite literally along the corridors that I just mentioned. So it would have
there's
been
gonna
too
be a
far
lot
away
of.
from that library.
It's gonna. Well, she's still gonna have to stop and ask the little guy, but she's gonna blow the library doors off their hinges, so there might be a small explosion.
So the little shadow gremlin is just there trying to tidy things up. Thinks he's gotten everything sorted. And the doors just get blown off. Just
Poor guy. Just trying to do his job.
I am going to roll something. He narrowly avoids what seems to be a large jug almost flying at his head, which then does spill out on the ground and just starts to bubble and melt away. As he looks to you. It was unlocked.
She like turns to him with very like crimsony eyes. Where is Grail? As her voice kind of like echoes through the library, as if there are like multiple of her talking all at once.
It should be in his sanctum up the stairs.
Good. And she's just gonna like walk out of the room, and anything that's like around her within like 10 feet is gonna kind of like shift around and be like thrown into the walls around it as she walks through the hall.
Okay.
She's just kind of like manipulating some small things around her.
Okay. So those of you in the forge.
But even bother getting its attention, I don't really want to fight anything that isn't our target anymore, really.
He hasn't noticed you.
Kuiper, stop looking at the box.
Slowly closes the door.
I'm not sure, in truth.
Are you actually looking at the books?
Yeah, it would absolutely.
I'm going. How many books are listed there? There does seem to be 7 books at the moment. Which one would you like to look at? Noting that it's like 1 to 7, like from left to right along this wall.
That purely depends on what the cover looks like or side looks like, to be honest.
I'm just gonna send you.
Let me just quickly look this up. So, Jesus Christ. I was just there going, ah yes, that should be fine. Let me look this up. And then the site quite literally starts to freak out as I try and do so. And it's like, no, go away. I'm trying to find this thing now. It's annoying me. Was it this? Okay. So, the books. One of them just seems to be a book on the Isles themselves. Just talking about certain artifacts and attempts to replicate them. The second book has what seems to be the iconography that you would have encountered this before. It's the iconography of the Buru.
The what now?
Ilawi's religion and people. Basically like the book
Okay.
of Naganaboros.
The worshippers of the
yeah.
deep.
Yep. The third book definitely has an air of Ionian about it. Almost as if at one point it may have been a scroll that someone has converted into being a book. The third one is actually more of a storybook, oddly enough. Telling the legends and tales of Brom. No, Ranna, this isn't Orin's
Okay,
Forge.
thank you.
That would be in the Freljord.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I just wanted to make sure. You're saying this dude is massive.
The fourth one seems to be. Seems to have a family crest on the front. You can't exactly place it at the moment, though. You can roll a history just to see if you can work it out, though.
Yeah,
Alexander's probably just staring at everyone, a bit annoyed that they're looking at the books anyway.
You feel like you may have seen it somewhere before, but you can't place it. All you know is it's definitely got an air of Bilgewater about it.
Okay.
And how many more books? 2 more books. One of them does indeed seem to be less a book and more just a rolled up scroll. And the last one. Wait, no, I got that wrong. Recede the scroll. Take the scroll away. The scroll does not exist anymore. The scroll is bad. Instead of the scroll, there is a book with an iconography on the front that you do recognize. It's the iconography of the Shadow Order. Zed's people. And last but not least, it's iconography that you will all recognize were you to look at it. Mainly because you've encountered it recently. It's Visani.
So, are we going to leave and go and find our target, or are you going to stare at that book for the next 10 minutes?
It's not been 10 minutes.
Oh, your target's been found.
I'll open the Vasani book and head back to the party.
Okay. So, as you take the book, you start to head back. You notice all of a sudden the clanging has stopped.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Clanking stops.
And the voice booms out. Unless you're looking to commission that, I'd put it back.
Just flinches. I was just looking, sir.
You can look while it's on the pedestal. These things, they're one of a kind, you see. Containing recipes of old. Therefore, I'd like it to not get smushed, broken, or otherwise disturbed. Otherwise, that knowledge is lost forever. And if it's lost forever, how would you expect me to make it?
He simply just nods with wide eyes and very carefully puts it back.
Yep. From what you did manage to glance in the book before being caught, essentially, it does indeed seem to be instructions on how to make a kind of magical weapon called the Oblivion Orb.
Ooh.
Beyond that, you didn't see how to make it exactly.
Contents. Angry Forge Man.
Just gonna look up to Angry Forge Man, who, again, has probably surprised Alexander a little bit with how forthcoming these guys can sometimes be when they relax. It's just like, now, before we continue with the rest of this conversation, first, you should know that I would hope to be able to strong enough to suplex you one day. That being said, I'm Alekxander.
You like to punch things.
Yes, I do.
Thought you had a bit of air of the winter's claw about you.
Gonna pretend I remember what that is.
It's your clan.
To be fair, it was brought up once and then we fucked off.
That's true. It's the tribe that Alexander's from.
So, I take it that this is very similar to the librarian we met earlier. You work here, but don't particularly care for the person you work for.
This forge has always been mine, as far as I've remembered. It's been here before the castle was. The castle just kind of got built around it. Can't be moved and I can't exactly leave it. Therefore, the way he sort of tried to take it was to take it and me as part of the castle.
Oh. It was here even before the Isles were whatever they were before all of this nonsense. That is a very old forge.
I mean, I learned from the best.
Alexander must admit he was very concerned when he first saw you that we might have to fight you. You seem like a very reasonable type who just wants his forge. But I like that. I respect that.
Quite honestly, but I'm surprised you haven't been trying to fight me.
What? No.
You're a follower of the bear, are you not?
Oh goodness, where is this going?
I'm a follower of the ram, his brother.
Oh, yeah, alright. To be completely honest, I don't feel any outward need to fight members of the Ram. I mean, sometimes I do, they come and get a fight, but, just gonna blatantly show off the fact somewhere in the amulet. Currently, I'm just trying to piss him off.
Plus, I'm assuming you've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Yes, I want to go and I want to go and, well, I won't bore you with the details of what I want to go and do once we're done here.
That's fair enough. And the clanging resumes. So have you got any business with me? Or are you being off?
Good luck to the rest of the party.
Kuiper also looks around like...
He just kind of shrugs.
I suppose we do not. Perhaps we will return once we have brought a little more calm to these lands.
And that's when you start to feel a bit of a breeze from behind. As an odd air of malice picks up.
Yeah, she's standing at the bottom
What
of those
does that smell
stairs,
like?
staring at that door.
We'll be there in a minute! Yeah, Waffleberg didn't kill her.
And she's going to start up the stairs.
Okay.
That door's coming off of its hinges. It's not happy. I will literally burn up all spell slots to blow this door off of its hinges right now.
Lord.
we didn't even close it. She just walks through the doors, looks to the
Not that
left,
door.
and this door just...
Not that door. The door at the top of the stairs, the one that you guys were like, oh, Thresh couldn't be behind there.
Alexander
Obviously,
is just
he'd
going
be at
to
the one at the
dash
top.
towards you like, you're not starting without me!
Oh dear.
Good, then we can start with you. And she turns to him with malice eyes, and as he approaches her, she's gonna possess him.
I'm just gonna use him to open
Oh,
the door.
I've got to look at the possession
Kuiper just
rules
looks
again.
to Potoo, just
Can I
gives her
choose
the
to
eyes
refuse
of,
with a
oh god.
17?
Let me just remind
I
myself
don't
what the
know.
possession rules are.
You guys just somehow pissed off Silveen, it seems.
What did you
Kuiper will
roll?
He rolled
briefly...
a 17 on wisdom.
It's unfortunately not a wisdom save that you make for this, if
What
you
is it?
recall right. It's a charisma save.
Can I keep the roll?
Is it the same modifier?
Oh, okay, in that case then. Oh look, I got the same roll.
So yes, you can keep what you rolled. You just add an extra 2 to it. I'm assuming.
Alexander is what we're going to call in the business politely declines.
Yeah, you try to enter the body, Silveen, but you find yourself just unable to enter.
You are not trying that again. If you try a third time, I will not be put off by the party to slay you. We are on the same side here.
You're
enemies
the
in
only
there.
one here that can't slay me, dear. You're the only one who doesn't have anything on you that possesses the ability to. But I guess you could ask Waffleberg. As long as he doesn't mind you touching his inventions.
You're asking. For goodness sake, you frustrate me on so many levels. Stop
Don't
asking
cry.
me to
Just
try
fight.
and.
She's leaving him behind and walking up the stairs. She cares not of his rambling.
We better get this over with.
And she's gonna... What is it to open the door? Or is it the bells for this door?
It is not the bells.
The dash up behind her, like, I swear to fuck, I'm going to kill you once this is done.
I hope you just do it and stop bitching.
It is quite literally just a couple of large, ornate wooden doors.
She's just gonna blow them open, and her voice is gonna ring through the hallway with
Well,
Grey
before that,
Eel.
I'm gonna do it and stop bitching. I'm just gonna stab
So,
Silveen.
16 damage. She's not reacting or flinching to your attack. She's just gonna blow the doors open and walk out of your sword and into the room.
Excuse me for a moment, I weren't expecting that.
No fucks given.
I was,
I've
expect-
stabbed other
Given she
party members
walked
for legs.
away.
I was expecting the doors blown up, and not expecting that part. I weren't expecting it to be a case of, right, because I didn't get to open the doors and someone else blew the doors open, and because they tried to
Oh
possess
no,
me, I'm
no,
about to
no,
stab
no!
them.
It's
Oh, it's
because
not that, I've been asked-
it's not that. It's because he was bitching about killing Silveen, and she was like, "God, I wish you'd just do it already instead of just bitching about it."
Look, I'm just trying to be a good player and fulfill other players' wishes.
Fair. So, as you open the doors in your own unique little way,
Rayo.
you find a large circular room. Because apparently a lot of rooms in here are circular, who knew?
Silveen quickly breaks the wall, making it a square. No,
I hate how aesthetically pleasing it is.
There seems to be a large desk at one end. Well, it's like an open book on it. And a large stone circle in the middle of the floor.
There's nobody in here.
No sign of fresh.
Are you satisfied?
She's walking over to the desk, taking the book, slamming it shut, kicking the desk, and then she's gonna light the book on fire.
Okay.
Alexander is gonna stop this.
She's going to float up above him.
Oh, okay, we're playing
Because
this.
she's not having this.
I'm gonna turn undead.
Good God.
You're turning undead? She
Which
touches him and casts Cure Wounds.
So,
That's not what Turn Undead.
no, it isn't.
That's true. That's
Hey,
true. I
turn me
forgot
up.
about that. Turns you into a demonic, doesn't it, technically?
A turned creature will spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet.
I'm taking the burning book with me then.
Hang on. No, I'm technically being naughty. I'm getting one of my paladin abilities mixed with a cleric ability. I can't turn on that.
Okay.
So ignore all that while I find some other way to fuck with Silveen.
Meanwhile,
Actually, you've given me a really, really good idea.
Meanwhile, it should be stated, Kuiper, a book that may have had some quite good knowledge. You've witnessed Silveen just quickly go over to it, close it, and then start to try and burn it.
Honestly, Kuiper's
Silveen,
taking one
level
look at Silveen right now and probably doesn't want to mess with her.
Fair.
You actually, I don't know. Lay, that's up to you.
What?
Undead
I'm leaving that one. I'm
should
leaving that one in your
theoretically-
hands.
Oh, good question.
I'm leaving that one in your hands. Because I have never actually been healed by any member of this party. She has only ever healed herself with dead energy.
Sort of
So-
answers the question there, I don't know.
Here's the interesting part about this. In older games, in like older editions, I believe it does hurt undead. In 5e, it doesn't. It has no effect on undead or constructs.
Does it
What?
really?
That's weird. I half expected it to
5e
just.
cure wounds.
Unless
This spell has no
spells
effect on
with
undead or constructs.
I've played so much Neverwinter Nights.
Keep searching, damn you. This isn't over yet.
Alright, I'll keep taking it.
I feel like this is the slow motion scene. Alexander's moving really fast. Sylvian's just got the match moving really slow towards the book. Alexander's like, do I have anything? Do I have anything?
Completely. And actually, I do have one final trick up my sleeve.
You can't burn the book if I burn the book first.
I'm going to command Silveen to drop the book.
Counter charm.
So just drop. What do you mean counter charge? Oh, what's this fuck shit?
That's literally, it's my bonus action.
It's
One of my actions and one of my bonus actions, counter charm.
Counter
Or actually, as an action. So as an action, you
Yeah.
can perform until the end of your next turn. During the time, you and friendly creatures within 30 feet of you who hear gain advantage on saving throws against frightens or charms.
So what you're saying is that
Mm.
Silveen, in an effort to stop Alexander, has whipped out a ukulele and is burning the book
Actually, since she doesn't have any bardic instruments on her, she simply snaps her fingers at you.
Vicious gang snapping, like bloody West Side Story.
Kuiper, I'm going to give you just...
But that does mean that that only means you get advantage on this, Silveen. So you
I
are
know.
still going to need to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh. 19.
Yep.
Uh,
Does the 19 beat it?
I mean, it's going to regardless. Yeah, there's a wisdom. Alexander is just going to look at the ghost with a relative amount of disbelief, realizing that without entering actual combat with it, he will never, ever really be able to get this out of its hands, and just looks at Kuiper and goes, sort this before I ask Waffleberg to sort this.
Silveen, may I see the book first, please?
She's gonna drop it into Kuiper's hands. But she's also going to drop the match next to Kuiper's feet while it still burns. After, you will burn that book.
He hesitates for just 2 seconds before nodding.
Yes, I will burn it. Duplicate.
He's like, I do have a good memory.
So,
And he will just super quickly flick through the book,
Son
skipping
is
most pages
puts
just to get a
on
general
magical.
idea.
No. Puts on speed read glasses from Fairy Tale.
so I'm going to do it like this. Make me just a general wisdom check there, Kuiper,
Wisdom.
just to see how much of this you can pick up from a quick read.
You allow intelligence, because it's mostly memory.
Yes, intelligence or wisdom, either
Okay.
works.
Nope.
Jesus, with advantage because quite literally, you're in a safe place. AKA, have just a
Safe place.
You're in a safe place with a match at your feet. The match is a good reason to start reading fast. It seems to be a rough outline slash notes on the whole sordid situation, the whole ruination itself, going all the way back from fresh rediscovering the blade of the Ruined King, and the Ruined King's soul itself trapped and bound to it. How he planned and influenced Gangplank towards trying to take it up, and how once that failed due to a small party, managing to stop the Ruined King's advances upon the Bilgewater, how with the unlikely Urquhart's assistance from a certain Yordle, he managed to regain him from Bilgewater. And the three of them together started trying to essentially ruin the world, bring the whole world to ruination for their own causes. Vex, because screw the normies. Viego to try and find his lost love. And Freshes for just one simple word. Freedom.
Well, as if the warden who traps people for all eternity isn't already free. What a hypocrite.
He'll pretty much recite this as fast as possible, but he's looking for one other thing.
What are you looking for?
Is there anything at all in this book that would outline a weakness that Thresh would have?
Oddly, no.
I was going to say, honestly, I don't think there's anything in his lore that outlines weakness for him either.
Add on to that, it would be a bit weird if he started writing about his own weaknesses in a book.
Alright, so it is his book, right?
True. Well, this is his desk.
But there is a slight...
Right.
And as you're just there, closing the book after reading up all you can in the short time, are you going to burn it?
Kuiper will burn it as fast as possible. He'll use his own spells along with the match if need be.
Okay. And you watch the book go up. And a voice...
So-
Let's find this break.
It was
Sorry.
just some sort of diary, not very interesting, truth be told.
So,
No more burning on your own volition, Silveen. Anything can be important.
Just kind of shush Kuiper for a minute as she looks off into the walls.
oddly enough, you can't get yourself through the walls here.
No, she's looking at the
Oh.
walls.
Okay.
Like glancing and watching them, because like obviously Thresh is not in the room, which means Thresh is somewhere else. But that doesn't mean that another ghost, though she may not be able to, does not mean that he can't.
That is
Yes,
true.
there is an open door. Sometimes villains don't use open doors.
But yes, he is nowhere to be seen in here.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
He does not appear to be here. That is incredibly frustrating.
You're telling me.
I'm sorry. Something just threw me off for a second then. As said, like bloody Eurovision's on at the same time. Norway's band just came up and their song is "Give That Wolf a Banana."
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
The song is called
Wolf
"Give
a
That Wolf a
Banana.
Banana." They're in what seems to be yellow morph suits, with the two main people themselves having like little foam pieces to make them look like wolves.
Okay.
Yeah. So, So, you can't see him in here, obviously. The only things in here are the desk, a couple of what seems to be just basic decorations. Oddly enough, not as lavish in here as what the rest of the place has been. And what seems to be the stone circle on the floor, fuck's sake. I'm getting distracted, I need to look away from the television. And the stone circle on the floor.
Silveen's gonna go down and float back to the floor. And she's gonna touch the stone circle and just kind of run her finger across it.
There does seem to be some engravings on it.
Well, she's gonna brush off the rest of the edge around it and like brush off any dust that's on it.
Okay.
And she's gonna start reading it. Since this is probably older than everybody except for Kuiper and Mariah. Well, maybe Waffleberg as well, but that's a story for another time.
It is indeed in the language of the Blessed House.
She's going to just start like muttering it quietly to herself as she reads it across and around, and she's just going to stand on it while she does this and read in a circle. She's going to kind of like swivel read.
It seems to be a circle of teleportation.
Good. Grabs Kuiper by the collar of his shirt and pulls him in. Let's go, and slams her hand down on the ground.
And nothing happens.
Damn it.
If you break his hand,
Maybe there's something that needs to be
I
done.
break his whittle hands, I'll fix them.
He just sort of
Holds up
whilst
one of Kuiper's whittle hands.
Kuiper immediately needs an adult.
Let's imagine this is like Silveen grabs his arm with like 3 fingers, holds up his little hand and shakes it twice. If I break his whittle hands, I'll fix them.
I would rather not deal with that.
Listen, Silveen, we all want the same thing here, but your hostility towards the party, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying that, is not helping. Get your hands on Dredge, now please.
We already have our hands on Dredge. Although Kuiper might need to help me figure this out. So she is going to explain to Kuiper like what it is. It's an old teleportation ring. But should still work. Although figuring it out is going to be the tricky part. Can I roll an Arcana on it?
Indeed, you two can roll Arcanus.
Arcana.
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 You know, I've just thought of something I could and probably should do.
You're just casually looking around the room that hasn't been burned yet.
Don't worry, it will be.
Hang on, I'm being an utter dumbass. There is something really useful I can apply to this situation, and I'm just not.
Okay.
I'm going to use my Divine Sense, you know, to see if there's a big fuck-off undead behind a wall somewhere. Just in case.
You cast Sense Undead.
No, I cast it's Divine Sense.
Oh, Divine Sense.
It would also tell me there's a Celestial or Fiend nearby, but if you do that, I'm going to scream.
Hello, welcome to the voice chat.
Sorry, my thing glitched.
Oh, you're perfectly
fine. I can tell if there are any Celestials, Fiends, or Undead within 60 feet of me, and I'm obviously going to move around the room to get a good...
Okay.
Just imagine getting flashbanged by that.
Just an annoying little blur around where Silveen is the entire time. Like, yes, I know, any others?
We will first of all get to the 2 in the circle. Also, Potoo, roll me an investigation check if you're looking around the room.
Yay.
Actually, while you're doing that, Mariah, what are you doing?
I'm watching this chaos. There's a lot
Natural
of
20.
For once, Mariah's in the seat in the audience.
So,
yeah, it's a lot of fun watching all this
Uh,
occurring.
Silveen and Kuiper, you
Yes.
both work out. It's still functional. There is just one thing missing from it. A power source. Kuiper, since you rolled higher, you figure that the power source, given everything you've seen already, is either going to be souls or potentially the black mist itself.
Souls or the black mist itself. I
Uh,
don't think the necklace will work either.
But I might. And she's just gonna look at Kuiper.
Are you sure?
Wow. Okay, that
You
doesn't sound
destroyed
good.
me in the past. You just have to promise me one thing.
Potoo,
You behead that bastard and
Mhm.
put him in his own lantern.
as you're looking around, just investigating, you do see what seems to be like a little small alcove, just hidden behind what looks like just a normal photo frame.
Right.
And you find what seems to be an ornate looking mask.
Squint.
Kind of metallic in nature, but also from Legion. There is just the odd sense of it being almost as if it can channel souls itself or absorb souls.
Hey.
So does divine sense do anything?
Alekxander, you sense no fiends. You sense no
No surprise.
celestials.
No surprise.
Undead-wise, you sense Silveen. You
No
sense
surprise.
Legion.
Who the fuck is? Oh yeah, right.
You kind of sense Potoo in an odd little way,
That's fair.
but there is
Yeah,
something.
just look at Potoo and just go, yeah, slightly more undead than Alexander thought. That's interesting.
There is one
Don't.
other. There is
Go on.
one other thing you do pick up on, though.
Yep.
A figure stood behind Mariah.
Alright, there is something behind you.
She'll turn around.
Yep, and as you turn on your heels to face what is behind you, you come face to face with
Oh, fuck's sake! I'm not being funny, but the fucking ghost was annoying me enough, and now. Actually,
I'm pretty
you're
sure
almost
Vex
aware.
is here to help.
Hi, bestie.
Hey, if you want
Oh.
to murder the ghost, that's completely fine, by the way.
Can I murder this one instead?
Which one?
Points at Mariah. She called me bestie. I feel like that deserves a murder.
Look, I will say this much to you. Good fucking luck.
Right, we are the best of friends. We know that. We might be a little bit different, but that doesn't matter. We put our differences to a side. We are equal here.
Don't touch me.
Look, alright, I'm not exactly excited to see you, but come on. I need to get this teleportation circle working. Maybe you can assist.
That's why I'm here. I already helped the normies out at the other side of the island. May as well come help you lot out as well. Seems all I'm doing nowadays.
Shudders at the use of the word.
Seems that's all I'm doing nowadays. Helping normies.
You did sort of bring around half of the end of the world. I suppose you could do a little bit to make up for that. Wouldn't you have just made everyone really sad? Why'd you have to actually make everything, like, dead and shit?
Because being dead is so cool.
He's not wrong.
Gonna
It
have to
has its
disagree with you.
perks.
Yes, actually, now that I've reminded what else is dead here, I suddenly find myself disagreeing a little stronger.
Anyway,
come on,
the way
Alexander.
I figure it, we've only got She'll just tilt her head back a bit. Oddly enough, not that much time.
What? What is the
You're
time
back, sir.
constraint?
The Sentinel's assault on the Viego has already begun.
Good for them. Kinda wanted to be there myself, but here we are fighting dredge.
It happens. Especially if the normie is betraying, then, well, the tryhard.
I was going to say, I cannot believe out of any single sentient creature on this planet, you're calling what appears to be a man who plays with souls a normie. I don't think that's normal.
That's because I've overheard what he's trying to do.
What is he trying to do?
Take the energies of the elves for himself. Free himself
Alright.
free himself from this place so he can, freely wander. Set your put, and she'll just turn to you with like the most disgusted look on her face. He's trying to become human again.
Silveen's gonna die with an echoing laughter and drop to the floor and just start curling up laughing.
I don't. Whatever. Ignore Silveen.
And she will
But,
just
well, tries. It's hard.
she'll just walk over towards the circle, and her shadow will emerge from the ground, with its own sentience as it just looks upon it, before diving into the circle and making the complete trek around. The
I thought
glyphs
that's in a robotic firm.
and wards just lighting up as it does so.
Oh
Before
no,
rejoining with her.
Silveen won't have to sacrifice themselves. Oh no, that's a shame.
Oh golly,
This
oh
is-
gosh.
This is spiteful even for Alekxander. Goodness gracious.
I mean, compared to the portal I just had to open up, this one's easy.
Did you just teleport into here?
No, I opened up a portal to allow the normies to go chase Viego to Canavor.
Alright. Fair enough. You're a strange person.
You have a very strange definition of strange.
Well, I suppose. Well, let's be fair. Vex is going to take that as a compliment. I called her a strange person. That's the opposite of normal. Ooh.
Pretty
Anyway.
much. It's better to be, strange than her.
Well,
And points towards Mariah.
Well, I'm going to completely
Happy.
ruin it and say that you are at the distinct risk of me beginning to like you. Stop that.
Oh, I'll have to annoy you some more.
Boy, I'm sure you'll be an expert at it.
I've gotten awfully good at it. She just lets out like a little smile. And then as soon as she lets out the smile, she kind of catches us like, whatever.
Happy.
Like you,
You're
smile.
happy.
Alexander will be very amused by this.
Go kick his butt
Hello.
already.
I will as soon as you open it.
Alright, I'm just
What's
waiting
that?
for you all to, get in the middle.
Alexander will get his ass in the middle.
Okay.
Drag Silveen over if necessary.
I'm already in there.
Good.
Kuiper and I were sitting in the middle of the circle, so it's just y'all people who have to chop.
I imagine, if possible, Potoo's probably knocked the mask into his bag for further inspection later.
Okay.
Ma-
And
Is anyone injured? Other than Silveen.
I was about to say, the person who you quite literally shanked.
Well, I can't do much to help her, even if I wanted to make amends for it. So, is anyone else injured? I will take the lack of an answer as no.
Mariah, are you getting in the circle as well?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Waffleberg and Alari are already in the circle. As your head to get in the circle, make me a dex save.
Who?
Mariah.
Okay.
What?
Make me a dex save.
Oh, nice. I love making deck saves.
I mean, dex is one of your main things.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm actually only taking
Ah, so smart.
7 damage from Alexander's attack.
So,
Actually,
Vex
no, that's not true.
sticks her little leg out to try and trip you. But you kind of just skip over it. As she just kind of squints her eyes hard as she watches you enter the circle, Mariah.
I hate to admit it, Vex, but you two are a cute couple together.
A cute. Yeah, because we're best friends.
That's. Oh, good lord, I'm glad you didn't think I meant more than that.
More? How could you
No! We do not go there, Mariah!
Wait, I don't understand.
And you never will.
The Normie's trying to ship us.
Ship? We
Ship?
have a ship somewhere, don't we?
I mean, yes, when did they leave that? It feels like ages since we were on that.
Meanwhile, all this time, Stellara's still back at the Sentinels of Light base with the ship and Umber, just being like, they'll be back any day now. Any day now.
Alright, come on. My body is ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, as you get in the circle, you find the world around you growing a bit hazier and just kind of blurs as it
Hang
kind
on.
of shifts into what seems to be outside, oddly enough. What seems to be on the... At first, it seems to be like you're on the cliffside. Before you realize it's less a cliffside and more some kind of giant quarry, as in it's a large hole going downwards into the earth, and you're just on what seems to be a ledge going down into it.
I would just like to start by saying, if he's not here, and this is just another massive obstacle to go through, Alekxander's going to lose his shit.
As you
I suppose she would.
Alexander's going to lose his shit. Buying you more shit from Amazon.
Anyway.
As you find yourselves teleported, oddly enough, over to this part of the island.
What's this? Okay.
Wow, we just missed a giant chunk of the map.
And as you kind of get your bearings and step out of the circle, make me perception checks.
Right.
No.
Kuiper, no. Alexander, no, as he probably scoops Kuiper up by the neck and starts walking off. Mariah, yes. Raka, Silveen, yes. Potoo, yes. You hear a large roaring sound. And you quickly realize you've looked over towards this direction on the island before, when you originally landed here.
Hmm.
And as such, as you look up, let me delete this Vex picture so I can throw this one back onto here. You see this thing flying overhead.
It's so beautiful.
That is a nope bird if I've seen any.
But he doesn't have feet, so he's not a bird. Wouldn't that be a snake with wings?
Well, then it's not a snake at all if it has wings.
But
I hope
that's
this
not
is just the
true.
second large thing
It
we've
could
met
have
today we don't have
evolved.
to buy.
Kuiper and Alexander. You only notice after being pointed out, but what you do notice is a winding path going downwards into this large crater, this large hole.
Oh god, I've got to take the stairs.
Silveen,
Oh.
make me a history check.
History, where is you? History. Right there.
As you all head down this pathway, you start to realize where you are. This is the epicenter of where the Shadow Isles became.
Blessed waters. What's left of them, anyway?
What was once a shrine to the Blessed Waters, where at one time a foolish king took his Lately departed wife, taken too soon. To
Did you
try
say
and bring them
lightly
back
or late?
late.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say lightly departed. Sir.
To try and
Well, there's a
bring
way you
her
could be
back
lightly departed.
from the lamb's clutches, only to damn the world in doing so.
And be murdered by his ex-wife.
And as you all look down, you see what seems to be a small concave at the bottom, and a hole where a sword most likely was once pierced through. And now, with the gathering energies from the Isles flooding into this area, a figure stands.
Is it him? He's
With
there, the
his
faint glow of his lantern.
Actually, his lantern isn't more than just a faint glow, as it is in the epicenter itself, absorbing these energies.
Oh,
As he
hell
awaits.
no. How far is it to the bottom?
100 foot. It's still quite a bit of a walk.
Is that what we've been looking for? Is that him?
It is. But be on your guard. He's been absorbing the energies of the dead around here, so you are just another snack for his lantern.
She's gonna look at Potoo and go, "Yeah, just be careful. He might be able to take half of you and your sword."
He'd be able to take all of her. The sword, on the other hand, might actually survive.
I highly enjoy the fact that I keep getting misgendered.
Welcome to my world.
What do you mean misgendered? What do you mean
Two is
misgendered?
actually a guy.
I know, but I don't think Alekxander or I mentioned a gender at all.
You said her.
I didn't. I said they may not survive,
Anyway,
but the sword will.
I don't think Dredge here, who's not actually Dredge, but she's gonna wait for us to have a gender debate.
I'm gonna
Agenda bit, if
continue
you
down
will.
the stairs a little faster.
Let's go. Alekxander is full throttle. Alekxander has been looking for this motherfucker for about 10 sessions.
Yep.
He is excited to finally meet the end. Hopefully not the other end, but the end.
Okay. And as you race down, I'm guessing all subtlety thrown out the window.
I mean, all subtlety is going to be thrown out the window very soon anyway, so yeah.
Pretty sure it already.
How best to describe this? You'll probably appreciate this reference, Jack. Essentially put, it's like a wrestler trying to make an interruption on a match, just blazing straight down, not even waiting. Kind of like an Ultimate Warrior run to the ring.
My fucking theme music is playing, that's all that matters.
No, it's not for you. No.
Yes, it is for me! I'll never fucking do this, guys. You're never fucking through. Also, hi, Mom. I mean, or presumably Mom, or far away.
No, it's neither. But continue with your rampage, because I'd like to see how this ends.
So,
sure, it's your niece now.
you all charge down into the lower end, which is known effectively as Fresh's Sanctum, where you get a closer look of him absorbing the energies into the lantern.
Just quickly to Silveen as we're running down. Hey, Silveen, do you need a moment to monologue, or can we just get to starting?
I mean, I assume and she points her finger, because I assume we've gotten at least a little close enough that she can do this. And she's going to cast Shatter on Thresh.
Okay.
I respect that answer massively.
Yeah.
I think that we should just get this done and over with. I'd like his head on a plate and his body in a jar. Or in his lantern, either one, but kill.
Shatter. Let me look this up. Oh, never mind, you just quite literally popped it up.
It's
He needs to
60
make a
feet.
con save.
Damage.
Red Chill probably pass. I have a very large feeling that he will pass that, but yeah,
Oh yeah.
because it's a fucking +5.
I mean, it's fresh. This is boss level fight we're talking about here.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but his
So-
lantern takes double damage. I mean,
Mm.
and if the lantern
not
makes a
magical.
con save, I'll slap you.
Non-magical object takes it. Unfortunately, it is magical.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But shush, make it take.
Half as
Look,
much
it'd be
damage on a
really funny
successful-
if he's just like, I've been waiting for, and his fucking weapon smasher just goes, oh.
So he does kind of.
So go on.
The shatter goes off. It does kind of rattle the lantern, but it doesn't knock it out of the place. And it does kind of force you to take one quick step forward, as he wasn't expecting it, like. And then he just slowly turns around.
Hey, Grail. It's been a while.
We have been looking for you for 10 fucking days.
The one that escaped.
Oh, not just one. There are more than one of me. But
God, what a
now
life.
you get to deal with me. You psychotic piece of shit.
Unluck. You brought the whole Scooby gang.
What is it?
Funny.
I mean, yes, she did. That is because we don't like you. We're going to stop you! Stop laughing! Why is everyone laughing when Alekxander says he's going to stop them? Has he not proven he can stop things?
You might
It's
be able
just
to.
fun the way you say stab.
Do you not?
I think
Do you not sense it?
Oh,
the completion.
The old
Just put him.
king is disposed of.
wait, the other guys won? I mean, I'm not saying I doubted them. I just didn't expect them to do it so quickly.
And with that, all the energies are free. The Black Mist has a new master now.
I don't think it should be you.
And he just
Is it
steps.
him?
He just steps forward. He's sickle on the end of a chain, twisting in the earth as he prepares himself. You should all be bowing to your new king.
Please.
I think I bow to my own god. Come on, man.
Silveen is going to. I'm trying to think.
He will oddly look to you, though, Silveen, given you did mention it shouldn't be you, and just let out a slight chuckle. You thought I was referring to myself. A king cannot be free.
It's like you're trying to summon some sort of Mordecai. Mordenkainer.
You mean Mordekaiser, and if that is the case, then you do not want him to succeed.
Well, yes, I was going to stop him. Thank you for noticing, Silveen.
If history serves me correct, you're kind of a wimp compared to Mordekaiser. He would have crushed you underneath his mighty mace a long time ago.
Why do you make Alexander want to fight it?
Because Alexander needs to fight it, or Alexander and his wife die. And she's very serious with this one.
You're right. I do not have the privilege of just fighting whoever I want right now. Let's get this thing dead.
And for the briefest of moments, in the mists behind him. Oddly enough, to those of you who have been a bit longer in the party, so Mariah and Potoo and Kuiper, you would recognize this roughly to be in the direction of where Noxus is from the Shadow Isles. You see, forming in the mists, an image of this figure. I have to refresh the page because I tried to drag the picture on and it were like, no, I'm gonna crash.
Oh, fair.
It's like, no, you don't need that.
No, they're not seeing anything. No.
You thought you could, but the King of Kings.
Triple H.
That is a series of nopes that should not be.
Perhaps
I
one day I shall encounter whatever that fucking thing is. But not
Trust
today.
me, to survive here, all you need to do is head over to Noxus and
What
witness
is
his revival.
Noxus? I don't know what Noxus is.
It's a place.
It's the city of war. It's the country of war and discretion and domination. Though it's been a while since I visited, it's probably changed. Although they're not too bright.
Alekxander has never had a very good geographic or a good lexicon, but mostly a geographic man. Geographic! Alekxander is annoyed by this word, he will stab it. Geographic mind.
Grabs a dictionary, stabs geographic.
Roll an attack roll on the word geographic.
Yeah.
Oh no, I stabbed the book, I'm a hypocrite.
But as he does prepare himself, a couple of figures will raise up from the ground around him.
Damn it.
Well, you have
That's not
friends.
surprising.
I figured out just even the playing fields.
That seems fair.
Just know you will have a good home once this is done. They will pull the lantern out from the hall and just tap at it.
Whatever you say.
Don't think that I will be joining your room of cohorts or rambling victims.
Yeah, you tried to stick me in a cell once. It didn't really happen, so it's not gonna happen the second time. Trying the same thing twice is the definition of insanity, right?
Oh, trust me.
Expecting a different response.
Once I've dealt with you lot, I will deal with the caretaker and up his punishment.
Alright, now I definitely have to kill you.
I'm done with the talking. Silence your filthy trap.
Oh, don't mind me. Alekxander's just trying to waste his time while we get down there.
Silveen immediately changes, taps on your shoulder. Not you, dear. Not you.
Oddly enough, he failed that one.
Oh.
But with that all said and done, we are going to end it there for this week.
Very well.
I love the imagery of this, like everybody running down the stairs while we're holding a conversation with him through this like magnifying tunnel.
Mainly
You're a
because
bitch! No, you're a bitch! I'm done with this.
mainly because I don't want some people missing out on this.
What?
Yeah, it'd be kind of disappointing.
Which
Dredge! Fuck
does-
you, Dredge.
does mean that depending on who we do get next week may end up being something else. Because I know that we may not be getting Rebecca next week, and it all depends on Dion and Santa situation. But we'll work
Well,
something
that's
out.
okay. One thing for sure, Silveen will not be meeting his lantern as a friend at all.
So,
yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in this week, and we'll see you all next time on the Dark Tides of Runeterra.
The
finale to the Shadow Isles. Or at least the Shadow Isles arc. You're not destroying the Shadow. You're not destroying the Shadow Isles, Alekxander. Put the sword down.
Alekxander,
the problem is nobody can actually destroy the Shadow Isles. They just exist now. They just are. Silveen will never get her home back.